Hello and welcome to Netcode-Hub channel. In today's video, we are diving into something both powerful and exciting. That is gRPC. Have you heard of it before? If no, then don't worry. I'll break it down in a simple terms and show you exactly why it is a valuable tool for modern applications. Let's start with just a quick question. Have you ever wondered how different systems talk to each other? Especially when they are separated by networks or need to be lightning fast. Imagine you are using an online store on your phone or on web to check the latest product or add something to your cart. In this scenario, the app needs a quick, efficient way to get all the information that you need about the product in real time. You shouldn't waste time at all. That is where gRPC steps in. Think of gRPC as a high-speed, reliable messenger between your app and the server, making sure everything loads and updates quickly. If so, then what exactly is gRPC? gRPC stands for Google Remote Procedure Call. It is a way of applications to communicate seamlessly, even across different platforms and languages. It is designed to be fast and efficient, unlike the older method which might be slower or more complex. It's very simple. So in this video, I'll guide you and we're going to focus on building CRUD, that is create, read, update, and delete. We're going to set up for managing product in our application. So by the end of you watching this video, you have a clear understanding of how gRPC works in a real-world scenario, and you will be equipped to create powerful APIs with it. If you find this video helpful, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Netcode-Hub for more hands-on .NET and Blazor tutorials. Let's get started. Make sure you have your Visual Studio 2022 or higher get installed. We're going to create a project that's going to be, and we're going to use the gRPC template. Let's get into it. So our project is created. Now I want to show you the solution. We have some files in here. Now I believe you have basic knowledge in web APIs in .NET, and it's exactly the same. Like we see from here, we have a folder known as the protos and we have the services. For you to understand this, the protos looks like the interface that we do create in our .NET web API. And aside from that, after creating these interfaces, we need to create their implementations, and that is where the services come in. So proto is going to handle your interface, and now the service here is going to handle the implementation. But the protos file that you're going to create is not only for the server. Client also going to use that. Now when you are done with this, you guys are going to understand how clients can also use this. So we're going to create a protos file in here, and aside from that, we're going to create implementation in the service. We register it, and that is all. It's quite simple as compared to .NET API, what we do know, or what we have been doing. So let's see. Now when we are done creating this protos, that's what we're going to be using to test our system map. And make sure you have Postman also installed, because that is what you're going to use to test our application. So let's create our proto file. Alright, so here let's specify the syntax version for this proto file. So that's the reason why we're saying the version is proto 3. Aside from that, we want to set the namespace and which is going to be using for better organization to avoid naming conflict in case you have a lot. So you want to give it a unique name, and that is the project name .protos. And also when we come to the next line, that is the import here. What are we doing? We want to import empty Google message. So you can see that's an empty.proto, and we also import that, and that is what we're going to be using it in our service. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do here is we define the package name, and that is a product package product. That is the name for this package. Now we have our message. Now this message is a product structure that we need. So you can see we have an int as an ID, we have name, description, and price. But I could see that beside each property there's an ID. There is a tag. So this is a unique tag, and this is going to be using for the gRPC to handle the data well. So this is the tag, and each tag should be unique. So that's the reason why we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So each is a unique, and that's what's going to be used to handle data representation in here. So we have same in each of them. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is, for each service, we need to create request and a response. So from here we have this get product. Now for get this product, since this is going to be for get only product by ID, we want to provide the request as an ID. Now when you come here, we want to have access to get product list. And with the product list, we want to, since we have this product already, we want to repeat it so we can get in the form of list. So repeated product, and we give it a name as product. This is for create product. We specify the properties that we need. So we want to pass in name, description, and then price. Each has a tag 1, 2, and 3. For ID, we're going to add it ourselves. Now when you go to update, and for update, you can see that here we have an ID, we have name, description, and price. So that is the properties that we need. We need an ID so we can fetch it out from the list that we have. Then we can update it based on the properties and values that we have in here. So that is the, let's say, the DTOs that we have in here, right? So these are the DTOs. That's what we're going to be using to create, get, update, and now delete. Now we have the last one, that is delete, and we need to add that. Now delete will enable us to delete, and now for delete we need only an ID for that. So we can just copy one of these and add it as delete product request. So we need only an ID for this, and that's the reason why we have this in here. So you can see we are having all for the CRUD. We have our create, we have our read, we have update, then we have our delete in here. Now let's go in there and create our service. So let's say these are the service interfaces. Now take a look. From the get product, it takes in this get product request. And now here, this get product request takes in an ID. So when you check it over here, it takes an ID. And it's going to return product. So when we make a search, we need to return this product. Now check the next one. We have list product. And now for list product, we want to get, or we are not specifying, we are not passing in any parameter. So you want to pass in as empty message as a request. So request is empty, and this will able to work because we have imported this empty message. Then we want to return product list. Now product list here, it is a list of this product. So it's a repeated of this product message that we have created. And now we're saying product. So it is going to be a list. Then for when you go to the create, it is create product. We have it over here, and it's going to return a product. So after it has been created, we want to return that product model. Aside from that, we need to use an update product, and now it takes in the ID, name, description, and price, and we want to return the product. When you go to delete, we want to pass the delete product request, which takes an ID. As soon as we get an ID, we want to return empty, because here after we've deleted, we don't want to return anything, but you can decide to return the product itself. If you want to return the product itself, then you can clear this and I'll specify this product here. But with this, we don't want to do that. So these are the services that we need for our product. We have our DTOs created over here. Then we have our import and let's say the setups done on top here. Great. So you can see this looks similar to our normal API that we do create. We have our DTOs. Then we're going to have our interface. Now let's go in and create our implementation. But before we do that, we need to make sure we build the project so we can add this, or manually we can do it. So have a look in here. Now when you check the default one as grid.proto, now with this, when you go to the package or the project reference, it has been added here. So we can do save, we can make a copy of this, and instead of the grid, we're going to say it is what? Product. So we have it set. Now, aside from that, let's go to the solution, right click on this product, go to properties, and then make sure you have it in a protobuf compiler like this. Then click on OK. Now let's go and build this project. So when you cross check, it is saying that product is not defined. So let's go to our proto and check it up. So here we are using this product, and when we check, okay, so this should be in uppercase. That is case sensitive, so you must be sure. Let's do it again, and you can see it is succeeded. Let's go and create our service. So that is all we need to do. Now, when we check here from the start, we are inheriting from the proto file that we created. Now, this is going to be generated automatically for us. And that's a product proto service base is going to be generated. Now, in that, we are overriding the method that we specified. As I told you earlier on, these are, let's say they are the interface. So we need to implement them, and we're overriding this method. So the method name should match exactly with what we specify in the proto file. Great. And in here, you see we are not implementing database right away. We are having this list and in memory here to keep things up. To make this simple, for this get, like you see, this get product contains an ID. So with this ID, we can make it a search from here. Now, when generating this proto file, when you creating it, the names here are in lowercase. But have a look. Example is this get product. You can see it's in lowercase, right? Go to the service and now check from the request. It is in uppercase. Because here, as soon as you generate, it takes this as a private and I generate a public variable for them. And in the public, we have these IDs as capital letters or case. Great. Then we are checking. In case it is not, we can return status code.notfound, which is coming from gRPC. Okay. And in case it does, then you're going to return type from result. We pass in the return type that should match exactly with the type that we specified here. The same thing applies to when it comes to the list product. We want to pass in an empty request because when you check the protos file, you can see from the service we pass in just an empty. So it should match exactly same as what you have specified in there. And we want to we create a list of this product response, which takes in a repeated of product. So in that, check it up, it takes in a repeated of product, that is product list. So there's a product list, and I'm going to generate 8 public variable, which is going to be the list as well. And in that, we can get it, add the list that we have in here, and I'll return it. In case the count here is equal to 0, you know what to do. So product not found. Then we're going to go to the create. So we do same. This create contains the model that we specified as our DTOs. Then in that, we're going to create an object, and I'll add it to the list that we have. Return the same object to the user. Then we have an update product, which takes in the same object as ID, name, description, and price. In that, we want to search for the ID. When we get it, we want to update them, and I return the same product, or I return null in case the product is not found. When it comes to delete, we're doing same. It takes an ID from the request. We search it from over here. In case we do, get it out of the list, and I return empty. Because when you check this proto file, delete should return empty. So it should match exactly what we have specified. So that is a CRUD operation that we have specified, or we have performed the implementation here from our proto service. Great. The next thing to do here is you need to register this service. So let's go to the solution, the program.cs file, and you can see we have a default one registered already. So we're going to also make a copy of this, and I'll pass in our product service. And that is all we need to do. So when you compare creating a gRPC and creating web API, you can see this is quite simple, isn't it? Yeah, simple and great. All right, so now we are done with this, we can go ahead and now run this application. So let's see. Now when you go to our solution, to our properties, you can see we have this line settings, and in there we have some profiles in here as an HTTP and HTTPS. We can run any of them, but as soon as we run on this, it becomes an HTTPS. So let's hit on that and let's run it and check it out. Yeah, so it is run, as you can see from the line beneath. And here we are not having any UI, so we can access it like a Swagger in .NET API. Nope. So we can see from a console that, hey, the app is running, it is kicking. As you can see from here, we have all the ports listening, the type here as HTTPS and also the HTTP. They are all active. Now, how do we test to see if this is working? Don't worry. Make sure you launch your Postman. And now when you launch your Postman, click on this new. And then here you can see we have this template that we can choose from. Now we want to use this gRPC because that is what we have created its service. So click on the gRPC. And now when it opens, we need to load the proto file. Do you remember the proto file? Let's first try with the default one. That is a grid.proto file in there. And after that, we're going to test our own. So click on this and click on import proto file. go to the root folder of your project, and that is a demo gRPC product service. So click on that. Then you can see we have this protos folder. Open it. Now we have two protos here. We can first test the grid. That is the default one with us, or which says hello. So let's select this. After we're done, click on import, and that is all. Check it out. If I click on this drop down, you can see I have say hello. Now with this, let's try to get this and see. So invoke this. Now we need to include the URL, isn't it? Now you can decide to use, since you're having both HTTPS and HTTP, we can grab this. If you're using a HTTP, grab this localhost. Let's go in here and I'll paste it, and let's activate this as enable TLS and click on invoke, and now we might see the hello response from our server. If you want to check, you can just put a breakpoint and I'll check it up. So go to the solution. Now from your greeter service, this is what it is getting. Now put a breakpoint in here, and now let's go and do it again. Invoke this, and you can see it is hit. So as you can see from, they can just step out, and you can see we have the message over here, and that is what is going to return. So continue, and we have the message over here. All right, so with after we are done with this is the default one. Let's go in and do our own. So click on this, new, then gRPC. Then I'm going to do same, so you can also do that. Import protos. Then choose the product.protos, and in here let's go and import it. As soon as you're done, you can see we have all the services that we created. Now let's first create product. So with this, go to the message, and here we need should be in a JSON format. So that is what we need. We need name, description, and price. So when you check your protos, the message that you create, or the DTOs, we need the name, description, and price. Check the create, name, description, and price. So this is what we need. Now let's go in and click on invoke, and here we need to paste in the, so we can grab it from the normal one over here. Let's go and paste it up, enable this TLS, and I invoke it. So it should return the same product. Now let's go back and we can just grab this. Okay, let's add another one. Let's say this is product 2, product description 2, and create. Let's invoke, and now we have it. ID is 2. We can add one more, and now ID is going to be 3. So with this, let's go to list product, click on invoke, and you can see we have the product list. Now let's check by ID. So it means we have to remove. Let's grab a copy. Let's remove all this. Specify only ID, and I want to say 1. ID as 1. Invoke this, and we should have ID of 1. Product, when we say 2, we should also have it. This is working. Now let's say if I click on update, we have ID of 2. So there is you want to update product 1. So there's going to be an ID, and you're going to say this product 1. So let's say product 1 updated. So product 2 description, product 1 description also updated. And now let's see, we have this. Okay, now that is a okay, so you have an ID, that is a name, description, and price. That's for product 1. So let's see, if I click on invoke, it's updated. Now let's go back to get product, and we need only the ID of 1. Invoke this, and we see we have it over here. Now let's try to delete. We want to delete the same product ID, and it should return empty. Now let's go and get our list. Get our list, because you have it. Now let's see, let's try to get a product out of range, so that is 10. Execute this, and we should have an exception. So check it out. So we're going to throw an exception, product not found. Click on continue and check it out. So not found, right? And now there is a message, requested product not found. So you can see that we have been able to create a simple gRPC service which works similar to an API, but which is very fast and secured as well. So thank you for watching. I hope this video has given you a clear understanding of how gRPC works and how you can use it to build fast, reliable APIs for tasks like CRUD operations. As you have seen, gRPC can really simplify communication between different parts of an application, making everything run smoother. Stay tuned for more because there are a lot of features that we're going to implement in the next video. So stay tuned and keep safe.